now, so I was just wanted to ask you how you and the city of Cleveland are dealing with the loss of LeBron James.
Why is that always the first question? I'm dealing with it fine. Like I told everybody, I met him when he was 16 years old, so I guess I have a little different opinion on him than most people. And am I sad that he left Cleveland? Absolutely sad. He was great for the city. But I'm not mad that he left. I'm disappointed with the way he left.
So, since you're a professional chef, is your family intimidated to do any of the cooking, or do they just expect you to do everything around the holidays?
Oh, my God, no. I have a Greek and Sicilian mother. She cooks like nobody's business and still tells me what I'm doing wrong. There is no intimidation. I'm more intimidated to cook for my mother than she is to cook for me.
Now, the majority of dishes I've seen from you are for dinner. Do you have any type of unique breakfast creations?
Yeah, I'm a big fan personally. My dad is a pretty good cook too, and he kind of handled breakfast. And we used to call him the sandwich maestro when we were kids. So breakfast was always something in a sandwich. I love he used to make a fried soppressata and salami sandwich with an egg on it. And I think it's tough to beat.
Now, did you find it more challenging to cook on Dinner Impossible or Iron Chef America?
I think they're very different. I think from a culinary standpoint and a mental standpoint, Iron Chef is much more difficult. You're actually being judged on the food. I think the food had to have a lot more kind of finesse to it, a little bit more detail orientated. But from a physical standpoint, Dinner Impossible is much more difficult. Like, you get done with the show, you can't even stand up. Like I used to tell people, I'm like, oh, I'm too old for this show. I get it done doing a 14-hour day, and I get back to my hotel room, and I fill the tub with ice and sit in it. I'm like, I'm not an NFL running back. I shouldn't have to soak myself in ice after a show. So physically, Dinner Impossible, there's not a harder show on television, period, in my opinion. But mentally, Iron Chef is very exhausting. Because of the judging process and because, if you even misseason anything by a speck, you could lose.
So how does owning your own restaurants compare to having your own TV show?
You know what? They're similar in a lot of ways. Both of them for me are very passion-driven projects. And I love doing both of them. There's never, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I mean, for the 15 years I've owned my own restaurants, I've never hated getting up, going to work, going to the restaurants. And since I've done television, I feel the same exact way. But, I treat them kind of the same way. It's like, when people come to my restaurant, I want to feed them a meal and make them very happy. That's my goal. When we're doing television, whether it's Iron Chef or, the new show Cook Like an Iron Chef, people should watch it and smile. Just like when they eat a great meal, they should smile. That's kind of how I feel about it. So I think they're different and they're the same. The biggest difference for me is I've been my own boss for 16 years. Once you do television, you're no longer your own boss. Now people tell me what to do. Damn it.
Now, on your new show, Cook Like an Iron Chef, which debuts tonight on the Cooking Channel at 10 o'clock, I saw the first episode and was really impressed with how many useful tips you provided in just 30 minutes. So what else can the viewer expect when they tune into your show?
Well, I think they're going to continue to get useful tips, different useful tips throughout the entire season. I think most viewers might be a little surprised how easy it is to recreate some dishes that we've done on Iron Chef or that I do in the restaurant. And again, I hope when they, as you've seen the show, I think it's as beautiful of a cooking show as I've ever seen. Aesthetically, I just think it's an absolutely gorgeous, incredibly shot, beautiful show. I think, they're going to watch the show. They're going to get all these tips. They're going to learn some fun recipes. But again, they should have fun while they're doing it. It's not, even though we're cooking serious food on the show, it's not a pretentious show. It's very lighthearted, and it's, I feel very approachable.
Yeah, no, after seeing the show, you definitely come across, very easygoing, very happy, and, like you said, my next question was that, the show is just so visually appealing, and, I really like the integration of the slow motion video, while you're preparing the food. So, besides the cooking, how involved were you with the other aspects of the show?
We talked about a lot of it. Mark Disson, produced the show. Him and I have worked on and off together since 1998, so we have a tremendous relationship. And, to me, he's just, from the layout to the lighting to the slow-mo to the production, to me, he's brilliant at what he does. We talked about a lot of different things, but he really made things that we talked about reality, which is not an easy thing to do.
So, is there any type of food that you just don't like working with?
Raspberries. I hate raspberries. It's the only food that I don't like. I mean, I've eaten, you name it, I've eaten it. For whatever reason, since I've been like a little, 2-year-old kid, I am not a fan of raspberries. Go figure. Those seeds just piss me off.
So, what do you like to do when you're not cooking?
I'm a big gardener. Like to garden, hang with my family. My wife is my partner in the restaurants. We've been together for over 20 years. I have 13 nephews, and most of them are under 10 years old. So, we do a lot of stuff together as a family. I love putzing around on my Harleys, shooting a little bit of golf. That's about it. I have a pretty simple life.
All right, I got one last question for you. I saw that you were involved with an event called Food for Life. Do you want to explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's, every year we do the three charities that I really get behind are Share Our Strength, Autism Speaks, and Urban Community Schools. And so every year we put together a big dinner in Cleveland with a group of chefs. This year we have 13 chefs coming from out of town, plus some local Cleveland chefs, including Jonathan Waxman, Mark Vetri, the guys at Blackbird, Tracy Desjardins, Ann Burrell. I mean, it's an epic list of chefs. But it's just, it's a cause that I feel very strongly in. All the charities that we get behind are children related. One of my dearest friends has an autistic son, so it's something I feel very strong about. And they're all children related charities, and and it's in my opinion the best food event of the year in Cleveland. Not because of me, but because of the chefs that we bring in.
Oh, great. Well, I appreciate your time, and good luck with your new show.
Thank you so much.